Yo, what's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be going over the MLB slate on DraftKings and Yahoo for Thursday, April the 18th. In this video, we're going to look at the main slate, cover the 5-game main slate. I have already made a video for the early slate. There is a 4-game early, so if you want to check that video out, I did upload it before this video went up. I uploaded about 30 minutes ago before this video goes up. So we'd definitely appreciate if you would check that out if you plan to play the early slate. But looking at this main slate, it's not the best, especially when you look at pitching. Most expensive pitcher is Chris Paddock at 9,100 in a matchup with the Reds. And then you have guys like Julio Urias, who's in a tough spot against the Brewers. Felix Hernandez, not that good of a pitcher. Ryan Yarbrough, if he's going to be the long reliever, is definitely in a good spot against the Orioles. He stands out, but we don't really know if he's going to be the long man or not. Then you have guys like Tanner Roark, Zach Davies, Zach Eflin pitching in Coors, Kyle Freeland pitching in Coors. Some of these guys are in really tough matchups. I think it's pretty clear which pitchers stand out to me. Starting off, Chris Paddock definitely just stands out on this slate, especially since there's not a lot of good pitching options, and there's not a lot of pitching options you feel very confident in. He is one of the guys that I do feel confident in. 9,100 on DK and $45 on Yahoo. I like him quite a bit here. It's not like a cupcake matchup by any means. This Reds team doesn't strike out a ton. There are some Ks in this lineup from certain players like Jose Iglesias, not the best hitter. You can get some strikeouts there. Tanner Roark obviously will strike out. Peraza will strike out a bit. Yasiel Puig will K versus righties. Suarez strikes out more versus righties than lefties. The guys like Votto, Winker, Schebler, not going to strike out that much, especially versus a right-handed pitcher. But the Reds do have the lowest implied run total on the slate at 3.5 runs. Chris Paddock is a really good, talented pitcher. This is one of the Padres' young prospects that they really believe in. And he's going to be a guy that we see do really well down the stretch. He's just a really talented kid. I think he's going to be a really good pitcher this year. And at 9,100 on DK in a spot, or on a slate where there's not a lot of pitchers in great spots, I think just paying up for Paddock makes it a lot of sense at home in this matchup. So I do like him quite a bit if you want to go to him. Then I mentioned Ryan Yarbrough, 7,400 on DraftKings. On Yahoo, you actually have to uncheck the players not starting because he's not going to be listed as a starter. He's a long man. He's down here at 33 on Yahoo. If we can confirm that Yarbrough is going to be the long man for the Rays today, I'm sure they're going to do this thing where they start with the opener like we saw on Wednesday. Ryan Stanek pitched 1 inning, and then Chirinos came in and pitched I think 5 or 6 innings. I would imagine that's what they're going to do today, where you have your opener, and then Yarbrough will come in and pitch 5 or 6 innings, probably throw about 80 pitches. And versus the Orioles, on a slate where there's not a lot of good pitching, he's hard to get away from, even at 7,400, which does feel like an expensive price tag to pay for him, especially since he's not a guy that goes out there and throws 100 pitches. Even if we can get 75, 80 pitches out of Yarbrough here, I think he can definitely be a good option. We are going to want to confirm that he's going to be the long man. Obviously, this play is a bit risky because if he isn't the long man, there's a chance he gets you 0 fantasy points. But if we can confirm it, I think at home against the Orioles, Ryan Yarbrough definitely stands out at 7,400. Just looking at the pitchers on today's slate, there's not a lot of guys you're going to feel very confident in. I think Paddock and Yarbrough, the two guys I would definitely lean on the most. But other pitchers you could pivot to, say we get word that Yarbrough is not going to be the long man, then you could pivot to Tanner Roark at 7,200 against the Padres. I don't mind going there. Zach Davies really did well against the Dodgers in his last start, but I'm not going to buy into that. I'll probably be avoiding Zach Davies. It's just a tough spot against the Dodgers. Don't want to take Eflin or Freeland in Coors. I think they're in pretty tough spots. Chris Stratton's not a good pitcher. Don't want to go to him. Andrew Cashner's not a good pitcher. Don't want to go to him. Felix Hernandez, not a good pitcher. Don't want to play him. Julio Urias, very talented, but in a very tough matchup against the Brewers. So Paddock and Yarbrough, and then maybe some Tanner Roark. Those are really the pitchers I feel like I'm going to be playing the most of on this 5-game slate. But now talking about hitters, going to first base, going back to a guy that I played quite a bit of on Wednesday, Ji-Man Choi. Love him again here at 3,700 on DraftKings. He's still dirt cheap. On Yahoo, he's at $17. Still like him on Yahoo as well. Great matchup again for the Rays here, going up against Andrew Cashner. I stacked the Rays a ton on Wednesday's slate against David Hess. I'm going to be stacking them a ton again on Thursday against Cashner. Cashner's just not a good pitcher, one of the worst pitchers in the league. Gives up a ton of home runs to both sides of the plate. So I think this is another stack that's a stack you want to load up on. 1 through 7, 1 through 8. Just load up on these guys. They're all great plays, even though some of them are expensive. Like Meadows expensive, Pham is expensive. They're worth their price tags. And on a slate where we don't have like any stud pitchers to pay up for, going to the Rays as a stack, even with some expensive bats in there, I still feel like it makes a ton of sense. Then moving over to second base, is Scott Kingery's batting second for the Phillies today, which it looks like he's going to. I think at 4K in Coors Field, he is a very good value play here. He's dirt cheap on Yahoo as well. He's at shortstop, and he's down here at $10. So Gene Segura got hurt, I think, in the Phillies game on Tuesday. And Kingery, since then, has been the starting shortstop, has taken over. He's in the projected lineup right now, projected to bat second. He did bat second on Wednesday against Zach Wheeler, a righty. So I would imagine versus a lefty here, they're going to bat him second again if Gene Segura is not able to play today. And he's still dirt cheap on both sides, 10 on Yahoo, 4K on DraftKings. The guy's been hitting the ball really well lately, 2 homers in his last 2 games. Has a lot of upside. If he gets on base, Kingery can steal bases. Just been batting really well this year. Usually not a guy that I roster, especially even when he's in the lineup. Like, this is not a guy that I usually play because he will strike out quite a bit. He's not the greatest hitter. But with how well he's been playing lately, with this upside he brings with his speed and being in Coors Field, Kingery does make a lot of sense today, I think, especially since DraftKings really didn't jack up his price that much. He's only 4K, which definitely is a nice price for Kingery. If he's going to be batting second in the lineup, I like him quite a bit. And then on the other side of that game, Charlie Blackmon at 5,100. I like quite a bit on DraftKings. Love him on Yahoo. If we look at his price on Yahoo, he's all the way down here at $17. I think he's a great play on Yahoo. But Charlie Blackmon, a guy that has not looked that great this year, has not got off to that good of a start, has yet to homer this year, 0 home runs, and only batting .219. But this guy's definitely going to turn it around. He's a great hitter. He's one of the better hitters in the league. Versus a righty in Coors Field, Zach Eflin, not the worst pitcher, not a guy I usually stack against, but when he's in Coors Field, I think you can definitely stack against Eflin here. We do have a 5.4 implied run total for the Phillies and a 5.2 implied run total for the Rockies. I think both teams are stackable today. And some of these Rockies bats are actually relatively cheap, like Blackmon, 5,100, Tapia, projected bat second, it's only 4,200, Reynolds, 4,200, Desmond, 3,800, Hampson, 3,900. You've actually got some value in this Rockies lineup, so I do like going to both sides of this game, and I do like Charlie Blackmon a ton at 5,100. Usually when Blackmon's at home in Coors, he's like close to 6K, so even though he's not hitting the ball well this year, and as of late he's not hitting the ball well, I still think he's a really good play, especially when he's at home. So these are my 5 plays today for DraftKings and 5 plays for Yahoo. Now we'll quickly talk about some of the stacks I'll be going to on this slate, and then we'll end the video, or we'll look at BVP, then we'll end the video. So I think my favorite stack is the Rays. Again, I'm going to be loading up on the Rays versus Andrew Cashner. Then Rockies and Phillies bats I like quite a bit. I'll be going to both sides of this Coors game. You've got the salary to pay up for these bats because there's not a lot of expensive pitching to pay up for. So it should be pretty easy to fit in Coors with the pitching that you want. And then like for lower owned stacks, teams that might get overlooked, I think some Dodgers versus Zach Davies. Even though Zach Davies kind of mowed this team down the last time they played, I'll be going right back to the Dodgers. I think the Dodgers reign supreme here, so 4.7 implied run total. They shouldn't garner too much ownership. Do like some Dodgers bats, and then maybe some Angels bats versus King Felix, especially Mike Trout. We'll talk about Trout's BVP. He has a great BVP versus Felix Hernandez. As if you really needed any reason to play Mike Trout, you'll see this BVP and it might make you want to play him. But that's what I'm looking to for stacks today, guys. Going to the BVP now. 2 BVP plays on this main slate. Corey Seager gone 3-for-11 with a home run versus Zach Davies. And then the Mike Trout BVP, very big sample size, 31-for-83, 14 extra base hits, and 8 home runs versus Felix Hernandez. Mike Trout just hits Hernandez well, it seems, sees the ball really well against him. So if you needed a reason to play Mike Trout, he's got really good BVP versus Felix Hernandez. So obviously Trout's a great play regardless of the BVP, but that just kind of adds to it. You could obviously stack the Angels if you want to. You could play Trout as a one-off. Either way, Trout's a really good play today. But yeah, I think that's it for my 5 plays, guys. I think that is it for the video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video, and hopefully it did help you If you enjoyed the video, make sure you click that like button down below and make sure you subscribe if you have not already. Like I said at the beginning, I did make a video for the early slate that went up before this, so if you want to check that out, I would really appreciate it, especially if you are planning on playing the MLB early slate. And then once I upload my main slate video, the video you're watching, I will be uploading my NBA video for the playoff slate. So 3 videos going up again today, guys. We'd appreciate it if you would check them all out. Drop a like on all the videos. It would really mean a lot. But yeah, guys, I think that's it. Just make sure you drop a like, subscribe. If you have any questions, you can hit me up on Twitter at the DFS_GOAT, or you can leave any comments below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. But good luck tonight. We'll see you in the next video. Hope you enjoy, guys. Peace.